Okay, so this is going to be a video about maintenance on IEP or 504 because we all know that there's changes, and of course we want there to be changes because we always want your child's needs to be accommodated, whether it's medical, learning, whatever area it's in. We want them to have their accommodations in the school setting. So I'm going to try and keep this as simple and short as possible because I can kind of go off on tangents. This is a really emotional subject for me as a parent. But I would say there are three major things and tools to use while you are keeping that maintenance going with IEP or a 504. The first one is relationships. The biggest point that I can drive home is to keep those relationships with your teaching team, the teaching team of your child, are so important. We always, like I said, it's an emotional process, but we always kind of get into that mama bear gear and we want to make the biggest changes for our child. Of course, we want them to be successful and have a good experience, and that's absolutely okay. Just sometimes our emotions can get in the way of that process. And what I mean by that is not everybody's always going to be on your side. You're going to butt heads. You're not always going to have the same perception as a team member. But it's always important to keep a level head and to try and check your emotions aside so that you can really stay on course with the goals and objectives of what your child needs. And so I always tell people we need our teachers to support us, and we need them to support our child. And if we are always going in with guns blazing and frustrated and complaints, that's going to sever a tie between you and your teaching team, and it's also going to trickle down to your child. That's just human nature of human behavior. So it's not that we're kissing anybody's butt or asking for special attention, but you are building a relationship with someone, and it's not a relationship, a friend. You guys have to be friends, and you have to always buy presents and that kind of thing. It's a relationship that you're building up based on respect. I respect you, that you are in my child's space, and I respect and trust that you are going to accommodate the things that we need for him to be accommodated within the school setting, he or she. I say my child is he, so I say he a lot, but this is of course for all children. The second huge tool that is a little bit of homework on a parent standpoint, but is super key for me, is keeping a journal. And it doesn't have to be like you're writing paragraphs every day or every other day. It's really just like a little notepad. It could be sticky notes. I actually have a spiral binder. This is a different book that I have for something different. And I just write at the end of the day. Maybe I write it down while my child's doing homework, what I've noticed he's struggling with, what I couldn't help him with, any techniques, any teaching things that he does obtain to and work well with. You want your teachers to know what's working as well as not working. And this is what you're going to take. So when we usually go to the point of going to IEP meetings, addressing changes, we are usually at the point where we need changes to happen, and we're kind of drawing out straws, and this is not the time to write all the notes that you need because it's going to be emotional. You're not going to have enough time. So this is something that you're going to use in lieu of that. You're going to take all the notes that you can, and then it's going to help you articulate the goals and objectives and keeping straight on point with the facts that you need that are to be addressed with your accommodations for your child, and not necessarily gearing towards the emotional onset. Because when you get frustrated and things are at the point where you have to step in, you have to call a meeting, you're already probably emotionally to the point where you're not really seeing the whole picture and what needs to happen. You're just kind of going through your list of things that are going wrong. And yes, keep that list, but then kind of gather it, get a clear head over your shoulders, and then you can really articulate the goals and objectives for your child, what has not been working, what has been working. And when your teachers see all of this homework that you've been doing and that you're doing your part as a parent, they're going to respect you more, they're going to support you more, and they're going to listen to you more. So it can be a little bit arduous at the beginning, just kind of getting the hang of it. But like I said, I don't write like paragraphs. I just write like notes here and there. Hey, couldn't do homework tonight because he was exhausted, or he had a medical issue today, whatever it may be. I'm parenting, single parenting this week on my own, and we just can't get homework done. Just letting, and it also lets you know like what patterns you see at home, as far as like what is going to support him at home but also at school. And there may be different patterns that you guys can correlate to and say, hey, you know what, that's right, maybe have you tried this or have you tried that? And that's kind of been like a great collaboration for our teaching team as well. Let's see, the third, so the three reasons too, just to hit on, that will, the greatest three reasons for the journal is to, one, because we have a lack of time to get everything together. It's already compiled for you when you need it. Two, it helps you stay on point, your goals and objectives for your child. And it will help you articulate as well what those are. And teachers and the staff will take you so much more seriously and not just a hovering helicopter parent. The third thing I would say is gratitude and appreciation. And I'm not saying, again, gift giving and that kind of thing, but set a check-in time. And not necessarily with your teachers, but for yourself, to check in with them. Send them an email, say, hey, hope this week's going not as crazy for you. How's my little thunder cat, or as we call my child, the terrorist. And just FYI for you guys, I love my child. I love all of my children. He is a determined child, and he is definitely not an angel. And I just, bottom line and honest with all of his teachers, I am under no illusion that my child is a saint, and I live with him, so you don't have, please don't feel like you have to sugarcoat it for me. And we have that relationship and the rapport now where we can kind of chuckle about his quirks and things that are cute about him and things that are maybe not so cute about him and his learning habits. And so, but also checking in and being like, on a serious note, like what are things that I need to work on this week, or have you noticed we've been doing XYZ? It doesn't always have to be a negative. It can be, you know, thank you so much for all I know all the time, and I don't say it enough, or don't have the time to say it enough. You want to build that support system so that, again, your teaching team who is spending 6 hours a day with your child is feeling supported and reaches out to you more in a positive way. And also, if it's not a positive experience, you can express that in a respectful way. Hey, thank you so much for checking in with me and letting me know the things that he needs to work on, and maybe some things that are not going well with his behavior and such. But can you tell me one thing positive that he is doing? Because we do need to hear the positives, especially with children in special education that have special needs, whether it be behavioral, medical, mental, whatever. So I hope those tips are helpful for you, and that wasn't too long. Let me know if you have any questions, and if you are hitting that wall, I would love to chat with you, and maybe we can work a plan out for your teaching team together. Take care. Bye.